Welcome in. It is the ATB show at the buzzer, and you've only got two of us. Rubber Shoes in beautiful downtown Lowell. I'm in beautiful downtown New Hampshire. My name is Tim. We are brought to you by our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks. They, whether they like it or not, we talk about them every week. They also sponsor, which is now branched out if you're keeping score at home. The Rubber Shoes Wrap Up and Rant takes place every morning of the week, and it is branched to Facebook. It is on the Insta, so it's on both. It's on both Zuckerberg networks, right? And now,
seen the newest. Oh, okay.
And now it gives me great joy, and I am well out of the demographic. And listen, China, I don't care. I'm coming in anyway. I love TikTok. TikTok saved all of my quarantines. Adore it. And now you're over and you're ticking and talking. So you can get Rubber Shoes with the Wrap Up and Rant on the TikToks, on the Gram, and on the Face Space. And that is every morning getting the scores, some attitude sometimes, and always 2 scoops of Corey with a side of fries. So our dear friends sponsor all of this fiasco, and they are AAA Work Trucks. Rubber Shoes, take it away.
AAA Work Trucks, your one-stop shop for all your work truck needs. If it goes in or on a vehicle, it's a good bet. AAA can take care of it for you. Give them a call at 866-783-6222 or check them out online at aaaworktrucks.com.
Love it. So where do we start?
So I have a couple things to
I love
start with.
I love your shirt, by the way. Love your shirt, by the way. Love
Yes.
the shirt. Love the shirt. Love
Could
the
be
shirt.
could be all done.
I feel like he's I mean, he's not as obvious as Slater was, but yeah, I think it's pretty close.
All right. So how's your dry January going?
As I lift my water, well, I got to tell you, I was going to run down the hall real quick and load up because we have digital water in one of the break rooms, which I appreciate. Always cold or hot if you happen to be making oatmeal in the morning, which I do. But I load this thing up too, which myself, Kaylee, our CFO, bought one. I think everybody, this is like I'm like going to go full basic now, like jeans, my phone in my back pocket, my Ugg boots, and my North Face coat, like every girl in every office in America who wants to get back into shape. And she's like, so I got my big jug of water. It tells me when I got to drink, what I got to drink, and my bag of carrots. I'm not eating the carrots. But I have one of these big things that roots you on. It tells you what time you're supposed to do it. I'm not plowing through this. I'll be completely honest. But I load this up and I leave this in here so I can continue to do this. Because if you're on if I'm on a coaching call or I'm on a national call and you whip this thing out,
Yeah.
I mean, it's a little distracting, right? You know,
Yeah.
so to be able to just dip into the straw real quick, to answer my long answer to your short question, thank you for asking. It's going good. And I was actually talking to one of my colleagues today in Vegas, and he's doing the same thing. And we talk about this all the time. I always do Lent, right, Rubber Shoes? So in Lent, which is 222, again, not again this year, but it's 220. It starts 222 is Ash Wednesday, and it wraps up on April 19th, which is Easter. Technically, I'm sure there's if the Gooch is watching, he would correct us and let us know that Lent actually ends when the Triduum starts, which is Holy Thursday. All that aside. And you can also punch out of whatever you're giving up for Lent on Sundays during Lent because they're a feast day. So ironically, you can abstain from what you're abstaining from. Anyway, so I think my body's so used to giving up, because I've been doing this for a while, giving up alcohol for Lent. I'm just used to that. So I think where I've never done Dryuary, I'm noticing it more, and not like in a longing kind of way. And don't get me wrong, I'm probably going to have a cocktail on February 1st. But like, not that I'm longing for it, but like I definitely have noticed that I just feel different.
Yeah.
You know, and like I have my whoop strap because I'm a premier athlete, of course. My whoop strap, like I can see that my sleep is better. My because there's 4 categories that your sleep gets rated on with the whoop strap. And you want it, obviously you want REM sleep, and then there's some other deep sleep that you should be 50% of your entire sleep should be in those 2 categories, right? So like I've noticed all those positive things, which is really cool. Yep. Hi. Yeah. It's okay. This week it's Thursday. Yeah. You're right. I'm wrong. That's cool. I'll see you tomorrow. I saw her come to the door. I'm like, she's just gonna walk in. It's fine.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Not that I was giving up alcohol, but it was with my diet. I usually it's not really encouraged. But
Yeah.
last week, so I don't drink much. My wife drinks even less. Like she might have 5 drinks a year.
Yeah.
Last Thursday, she's like, I really need to go out to have dinner and a drink. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, all right, I'm out. I'm out for not drinking in January. Not that it was a big thing for me. I didn't say, oh, I'm going to do all of January. And then, then we ended up going out with people from work the night after on Friday night and drinks. She had 1 drink. I had 1 drink. That's drinks.
Yeah.
So the same on Friday night. We each had 1 drink. It wasn't anything big, but we did drink it. And so that's why this week I actually decided, you know what? I got some Crown Royal Black left. So
my God. So this is so ironic. So you're having a cocktail. Amen. You're having a cocktail and I'm doing the water. Because usually it's me and Scotty Dukes. Dukes has the hard stuff. Hard stuff. Interesting. Well, to stay on the topic, because I think it deserves some airtime. I think it is fascinating. I was just talking to this afternoon one of my agents, and we got to talking, and she mentioned something about Dryuary. I said, yeah. I said, I'm doing it. I've never done it before. Talked about how I give it up for Lent, and I've never done January, and that makes it feel different to me. And she talked about how she's sober, and she like always drank like socially, and then she went on an 8-year run, and then she ended a relationship, and she's like, maybe I'll go out with the girls and have a couple of drinks. And she goes, and then I just realized, and it's funny, and she's like, and I've had more people say this, and obviously a lot of people have friends at a lot of different companies that for a myriad of reasons do it. And I've had so many people lately say, it's like, I think a lot of people think when you are sober, right? Because there is a differentiation too. I think people that will say, hey, this is problematic for me. It's doing very poor things for me, and they do it, and there's meetings and all that kind of stuff. And some people are like, I'm just stepping away. I'm just good. So I think there is probably a differentiation between sobriety and just not drinking. I guess there's a nuance there somewhere. Yeah. And she's like, it's got to get normalized. Like, because I think it's so weird if you say that you don't drink. I think you start to get like, well, why? What's going on? What happened? You know, as opposed to we're sitting at the same restaurant that you didn't get a drink, and I say I don't want onions on my burger, and nobody freaks out, right? Like it should be the same thing. No, I don't want any horseradish on my hot dog. You know,
I've gone through periods where I'm like, you know what? I don't have a drinking problem. I drink very rarely, but then it'll be the point where, you know, I go out for a retirement party here and this and that. And it's like, I'm just like, I just don't need to do it anymore. So then I tell myself, that's it. I'm done. I'm not having a drink at home, not having any drinks outside of the house, socially or anything. And it's like, you didn't stop drinking because you had a problem. You just stopped drinking because like, what's the point? And the other thing with drinking and driving, if you get pulled over,
oh my God,
I lose my license, I'm screwed. So that's another reason. Like, it's not the 80s anymore where they just pull you over and say, oh, leave your car here, come back and get it tomorrow. It's an automatic 90 days.
You're done. Yeah, and I think too. It's like it's not. It's well, and
but everybody's different. It's not socially accepted to not drink.
Well, and the conversation I was having today with somebody this afternoon, socially, or just it's been so generalized that in our country you are having a cocktail to celebrate, you're having a cocktail to mourn, right? You're having a cocktail because it's Thursday, you're having a cocktail because it's raining. So I think it is funny that people just they treat it so differently than if you say that you don't want any anchovies on your salad, right? It's just pretty fascinating. So it has felt good. I definitely, and here's the other thing, and I know you know this as you drink your Crown Royal. At our advanced age, it's not even so much because I've always been a lightweight.
Yeah,
I've never
recovering
been
is
a
tough.
huh.
If you overdo it, recovering is a lot tougher now.
1,000% at our advanced age, it's the recovery is the horror show. And then and I've always been a lightweight too. Like, it's funny. I did have that run where so many agents at our company, just like everybody was starting to bring me like, oh, I wanted to thank you for that. It was a great phone call. We had a great coaching session. Or just thanks for everything you do. And like, I got this huge run where agents were bringing me bottles of scotch. And don't get me wrong, I'm not going to complain about that. And it got to a point probably a couple of years ago on our private company Facebook page, a lot of our agents were celebrating their sobriety or talking about their sobriety. And it hit me because, and you've been in my office. I have that credenza under the TV, and I had lined across the wall, probably rubber shoes, 14 bottles of scotch, all still in the boxes, right? And I'm like, I look tone deaf to the agent that's coming in that truly struggles with it. And they're sitting in a room that's supposed to be a safe space where they can be transparent and emotional and talk about all the things. And there's 80 gallons of there's 80 gallons of Scotland and Kentucky sitting behind their head, right? So I brought home probably 12 bottles. And my wife is like, Janina's like, what in the hell is this? And I said, these have all been given to me by my agent. So I literally have 2 bottles over there holding up the books right now. Scotty saw them. I've got a Glenlivet 18. I've got a bottle of Eagle Rare that, God bless him, Nathan gave me. And I've got Glenmorangie that's in the cabinet that's open that, when people want to put a little bit behind their ears, we have that. But I think it's just it's so loose and flowing. It's used to celebrate, to mourn, to all the things. And I think it is interesting. And I'm finding more people, younger too, and it's easy for me to say that, at our company that are just like, no, I'm good. I'm out. And if you really start to look around, especially when you go into conferences and stuff like that, and I look at like leaders of companies and stuff like that for whether it's for responsibility or liability or whatever the case may be, like people who are crushing it are usually dry. Like they're like, I don't really, it's not going to help me. And I'm, as an Irish Catholic, I think people are like, oh, he's probably going home having a cocktail every night. Now, will I get into a run where like, oh, I'll have this, or I find a cocktail I like? Because that's what I did during COVID. I went to the liquor store and I probably got everything, to the point where I would say to my in-laws, what do you want for a cocktail? And my mother-in-law would always ask, well, what do you have? I'm like, everything. Like, go on Google and make something up, and I have the ingredients. Because I just got bored. There was nothing to do. I'd go to hit the liquor store on the way home, buy different things, try different cocktails. So we have so much. We have like a corner closet that's like paper towels and napkins and Charmin and alcohol. It's like the liquor closet, right? And I don't come home on a school night, to your point, because recovery. Like, I rarely will have something, on a school night. And then on the weekends, because Janina's a straight edge. Janina will have a Diet Coke. Yeah. So, and that's also given me a lot of freedom. Because wherever we go, I have a baked-in designated driver, because she's going to have like maybe a double Diet Coke, right? Hold the cherry. So,
see, I do too. Just my problem is I get car sick if I don't drive. So if I have add alcohol to it, it's not a good a good feeling.
Yep.
So the other thing I was gonna ask is your biking. I haven't seen the Strava posts in 2 weeks.
Terrible. I'm in my own head. I've got everything I need, and I know a lot of people feel this way. We just had this conversation today in a big meeting. The myth of the home gym, right? Because it's right outside my door. So I appreciate you calling me on it. I'm not going to tell you that I'll be on it tomorrow, but yeah, I'm getting behind the bars has been in my head, which you would think, well, there's no cocktails and you're doing deep knee bends and all this other stuff. So what's the point? I have no idea. Couldn't tell you, but I appreciate you asking.
All right.
I
was just
keep digging away. Keep digging away, because my dear friend, my cycling buddy Christopher is fascinated at the inactivity. So yes, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But
broken. I was like, I see mine showing up, and I see Janina's stuff popping up. So where's Timmy's?
Nowhere to be seen. And I'm not doing myself any favors. I know that because I have a number I want to hit by the end of the year. But
Okay, I'm posting my stuff not to rub it in your face, but
oh no,
to try and
that's what
motivate you.
it is. A wall of shame. Absolutely, I love Strava. Strava's fun to look and watch all the other people doing stuff. It would be great if I joined you, and I promise you, I will.
All right. Okay.
One fiasco at a time. Yes, but yeah, I'm glad you asked. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, but Dryuary is going great. Thank you for asking that as well.
Okay.
And yeah, so I'm actually thinking, am I going to go between the 1st of February and the 21st of February and just hold out?
You know, the thing
because that would get me all the way to
yourself,
Easter. That would get me to 4/19, and then that would beg the question: why would you bother now?
So,
and my answer would be Easter Sunday.
Well, okay, I hear you there.
Yeah.
But it does. You feel so much better when you get all the toxins out of your body. Like same when you're like I've done Whole30 a bunch of times, and it's not really made to lose weight, but you do lose weight. But it's just getting everything out of your body that your body doesn't like. And I don't know. I always fall off. I am not in the Whole30 lifestyle forever because I cannot do it. But it's amazing how much better you feel when you when you're eating good and not drinking, and everything is better. Sleeping's better. Your workouts are better. So every time I start doing it again and start feeling good, I'm like, why did I ever stop?
Yeah.
Like you feel so good.
Yep. 4,000%. What is the weather slated for you tomorrow down where you are? Not that you're further south, but you're a little further south than me.
Yeah, we're on the line of the snow and rain line. We're like, so it could be 1 to 3, could be all rain. We're right on the border.
Yeah, last time I think Portsmouth is probably 4-ish, and up where we live might be closer to 6.
Yeah,
you know, not big enough. Sometimes if it's substantial, we'll actually shut the building down, shut the company down. But
last Thursday that I sent you a text saying I was going to be up in your area.
Yep.
So I left Billerica where the shop is, and it's raining and it's raining and it's raining up to Salisbury, raining up to Hampton. I crossed the tolls and I'm in snow. I'm like, what the hell did happen?
I was in North Conway. I was at our North Conway office, and it was sleet as I was getting there in the morning, and I was there crack a stupid, and it was consistent snow the whole day. I probably went wheels up around 3 because I knew it was going to take me at least 2 hours. Usually it's about 90 minutes from our house to North Conway.
Yeah.
So I went wheels up around 3:15, and they decided like everything I was on for the longest time until not much left on 16. The whole way down from North Conway was just unplowed. Which and of course when you're behind the plow, you're like, damn it, go faster, because it.
Yeah. Right.
But like you're grateful for it. Like it was unplowed. It wasn't bad, but I mean, you go by Shakura Way, all that stuff, like all those roads. That stuff's fascinating when there's no plow. So, yeah, I think we're supposed to get like 4 to 6-ish up here. So, interessante. Do we want to go hockey or Celtics or playoffs?
Let's do playoff football first, and then do our local teams after.
Cool. All right. So, game 1 Saturday. Well, let's talk about your shirt first of all.
First of all, did you know it was Super Wild Card Weekend?
I had heard it. Well,
about 100,000 times on every game.
Yeah, I had.
Although I made a comment to Steph that Monday night ESPN, Aikman and Buck did not get the memo because they weren't pushing it like every other channel the rest of the weekend.
Right.
Like I couldn't believe that. Like Jim Nantz and Roma was like Super Bowl. It was like they were getting extra money every time they said it.
Yeah.
Super Wild Card Weekend. I'm like, oh my God, it's just Wild Card Weekend. When did it change to Super Wild Card Weekend?
When they pushed the game to Monday night.
But they had the same amount of games last year, so I guess that's it. And you know what? Looking at that Monday night game, that kind of screws one team.
I couldn't agree more. I was really shocked that the NFL thought that was fair. You know, the Giants have a leg up because the Cowboys had less time to rest. End of story.
Yeah.
Right? Because yeah, it's just interesting. Now the question is, the Cowboys, because the Cowboys then on Monday, I trust Monday night they got on a flight, they flew back to Dallas, and then they're heading back to the Giants. Correct? Giants Eagles. No, they're going back to the East Coast though. Oh, Giants Eagles. I apologize. Who's Dallas is playing San Fran. Okay. Still though, when is that game? Did they make them a late game? Are they Sunday late?
That's what I didn't look at the schedule, but
that would be the only advantage.
That would make sense. Yeah. Let's see. Although San Fran played on Saturday, right?
Yes.
And I'm telling you, I really hate the NFL app. They don't have like scores for some reason. Okay. Oh, as I say it, yep. Cowboys 49ers Sunday night 6:30.
So they pushed it as far as they could.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. So what do you got? So Saturday 4:30, Jaguars at Chiefs. I mean, I don't think anybody needs to ask me what I want to have happen there.
Yeah, I think we're in agreement there. I love me some Trevor Lawrence, I tell you.
Well, everybody made such a big deal, which I think it is. And he didn't do it just to look like the everyman. The fact that he showed up at the Waffle House with his crew,
that was awesome.
And the fans went nuts. Like, you'd be like, oh, he's just doing that. No, he's not. I like this. I know
He
he has.
That's what they want to go to Waffle House or IHOP.
And they literally talk to him about his order too. He gets a pecan waffle and some, I don't know what it was, like there's like a cheesesteak. I don't know what he got, but he talked about all the food that he got. And he said he switches it up sometimes. And anyway, I know there's a lot of people that probably think he looks like one of the kids from Hanson, or he's got a punchable face, or all the things. Like I was rooting for him last year. I'm rooting for him this year. I know he's in the AFC. I'm looking forward to the Patriots getting back into the AFC. That would be fun if we could join football again. Until then, I'm going to take him all day, every day on Saturday at 4:30. I don't know what is Vegas saying the spread is. I'm sure it's monumental. Oh God. Chiefs Vegas. Let's look this up. So I'm all about it. I'm super excited for that one. So you got them. Do we just want to call these up and down?
Well, so do we want to go over the last weekend first, or we just
go ahead. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
And I tell you so there was tale of two halves in that game, the Chargers and the Jaguars.
Did you stay up for the whole thing?
I did. Yep.
So I'm a terrible person, and I don't know if I can watch another half of this. And I'm also making a concerted effort to just shut it down. Like, I'm not going to fight. I wasn't going to fight sleep to watch Not My Team. Double negative. Thank you to my English teacher. Right. And then I woke up and I was like, oh, I should check. And I was like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
So I was annoyed I missed it, but I'm glad I got some sleep. But
actually, so I missed the end of it because I was at the fire station. So I was watching it, but then we had a call, so we came back and they were in the midst of the comeback, and then I think I fell asleep and then woke up to Sports Center or whatever. I think I woke up and it was like an infomercial on, so I switched over to Sports Center and found out that they completed the comeback. So that was awesome.
Yep.
Every game was really good. The 49ers Seattle game pulled away a little bit in the second half, but that was really good for almost 3 quarters. And then the Sunday games were just phenomenal.
And back to Roger Goodell doesn't deserve all this, right?
Yeah.
They really had phenomenal games, and he keeps I'm just, it's so annoying that he's who he is.
So Monday night, I gave up at halftime. Brady had
Wow,
scored a
that's
touchdown.
did you
I know,
fold it up and put it in a Ziploc, or are you going to get it shadow box?
It was so. This happened to me back in 2004. The Red Sox, when they won the World Series, the game that they came when they were down to the Yankees. They bring in Rivera. Roberts steals the base. I missed all that. I went to bed. I'm like, I'm not watching the Yankees celebrate in Fenway. So I went to bed. So I was the same thing. I was like, I don't want to see Brady. Like, Brady was having a tough night, but it was I am a Brady hawk, as they call, and so I do have excuses for him, but I think they were legit. They like the receivers this year for some reason were not on the same page with him. There was so many times, especially Mike Evans. Like Mike Evans had some great games this year, but it seemed like more than not he was turning the wrong way or would stop running, and I could see the frustration on Brady's face all season long, where I definitely don't see him going back to Tampa.
Oh,
and
no.
I just didn't want to see it get worse. Like it was pretty bad at halftime. I'm like, I don't want to see like if it's a comeback, great. I missed it, whatever. But I don't want to see it, go the other way and then see him get hurt or something. So I'm like, I'm tapping out here.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sucks that he's out of the playoffs, but
I feel like by the time you got to the second half, and I have no idea why I watched the whole thing, because he's one of the people that could take care of Voldemort eventually, right? So I'm all in on him, and I'm also very excited for people's seasons to end. I love that the Ravens are done because we're going to find out what the next move is for Lamar faster. We're going to find out what Brady's going to do next, arguably faster. So all these people that are going somewhere, as soon as they're out, like it just heightens all the drama, and I love that. This is such a fun time of year. The coaches are moving. Free agency is like out of control this year. There's so many people moving around this year.
The thing with players is though they can't start doing anything till March. So it's going to be all rumors for the next month and a half.
Yeah, but he could make an announcement. Like he could make an announcement.
Well, Brady's officially under contract until March, so he can't do anything.
Okay.
And I think that's probably where most of the contracts end. Like Lamar's contract probably isn't up until March, so he can't officially do anything. So it's going to be all rumors for a month and a half. I think they can only do something with their own team that they're on right now. That's the only, like, they can sign an extension with those teams. That's it.
Yeah, pretty clear though. Like when you saw to the point of Slater, McCourty, Brady's parents were on the field, gave him a kiss as he left the field Monday night.
Okay.
Yeah, his family was there and his parents were both there, and he kissed both of them as he went into the tunnel. So I think it's pretty clear. I think we talked about this before. I think there's so many Michigan guys in the front office. There's a chance to go back to the AFC East. There's a chance to screw with Belichick. And I don't think they're like Skywalker and Vader. I don't think that's where the relationship is at, but he's got a chance to go defend Shula and screw with Belichick at the same time, which is sort of entertaining. The weather. I don't think the Dolphins are all in on Tua. And I don't know. Yeah. And there's so much the talent. You insert Brady into that team.
Oh yeah.
That's kerosene on the fire for sure. So that I think that's got to be the first one. The rumors that a couple of the NFL talking heads have said that the Jets are a possibility. I feel like he hates the Jets. I feel like he would never go to the Jets.
And yeah, I don't think their defense is really good. They have young receivers, and I don't think that. I think the only two legit spots, maybe three, Raiders, 49ers, and Miami. And now with Brock Purdy, I don't know how much the 49ers would be interested at this point.
Nope. Trey Lance
still
is
have
moving.
Trey Lance, right?
I think Trey Lance is moving though. I think they'll get rid of him probably.
So I think it's the Raiders and the Dolphins. I think that's Also, because
but I think Lamar would end up in the Raiders.
Sean Payton's interviewing with Denver, which they're not gonna. They owe Wilson too much money to to go away from him to bring in
Yep.
Brady just for a year or two.
Yep. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think the offensive coordinator thing going on with the Patriots. Like, I love that they said all the stuff that they're going to be doing, but like, I'm really intrigued.
I know
I thought by now
don't-
we'd already have a word on Billy, but
So okay, you don't get updated during the day while you're in your office.
not
So
really. No, I've got ESPN going, but I'm not paying attention.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Billy O'Brien has Ian Rappaport came out and said Billy O'Brien did have his interview today with the Patriots.
He did have it today. Okay.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So he's definitely interviewed. But the thing is, it's so there's rumors. Rumors were coming out saying, so they made Gerard Mayo an assistant head coach. There's rumors that they might make Patricia an assistant head coach, and that Mayo will be in charge of the defense, and Patricia will be in charge of the offense, and that you would have to answer to Patricia if you're the offensive coordinator. After he just proved that he can't do anything on the offensive side, you're going to have to answer to him. So if that is true, I don't see Billy O'Brien coming in here and saying, "What? I got to listen to this boob who didn't know how to run an offense." It's like, no, I'm all set there. Like, if he just has to answer to Belichick, fine. And it all is going to depend on what if they give him full control of the offense, have say in players that they bring in, and I think he's in. If there's too many, well, you got to check with this person, you got to check with that person. I think he's gone. Especially if he gets offered the Chargers position.
Yeah, and they haven't yet cleared their head coach, right? They got rid of a few people.
He's staying, but the OC in LA is gone. He got fired.
Oh, so you mean the OC role out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But everybody's sort of talking about that too, like they should be just clearing the deck out there altogether. And that is a super attractive job, great venue, great part of the country at least for weather, right?
I don't know if they gave him reassurance or anything, but Staley came out and I don't know if he said it in a press conference or in a letter or whatever, but he said that he wasn't afraid of losing his job at all.
Okay.
I was like, really? Because you suck. But
yeah, not great.
So they must have told him, you're good for another year, but we're gonna make changes. So they got rid of they got rid of the offense coordinator and some offensive coaches. So they'll be retooling out there. And I think McDaniels might be looking for someone also. Not 100% on that, but there's other options. Especially, okay, so would you rather coach Mac Jones or Justin Herbert, however you say. I always screw up his name. Like, if you're an offensive coordinator, what pool of talent looks better to you? The Chargers or the Patriots?
Well, honestly, it depends. All right, on paper, sure. And I honestly, slight lead.
I think they have Eckler, they have Mike Williams, they have Keenan Allen. They have two other, Cotter and there's one other receiver that stepped up this year. That were Carter's a rookie, and then there was another guy too that was stepping up. And Herbert is, I think, much better than Mac Jones. I still am holding out hope with Jones that he just got screwed up this year by bad coaching. But talent level, arm strength, all that stuff, there's an edge to Herbert. Definitely.
Sure. I think there's, for Billy O'Brien, I think it's home. It's
that's definitely a check in our box.
He's got his child who has special needs, and there's an opportunity to have them in the school that they're familiar with because they were there before. And I think money's always going to be important. I think there's a familiarity with the lifestyle, with the team, and I hope they're interviewing the others so they don't miss something. But I hope there's a piece of it that's a formality. Like if Bill O'Brien wants the job.
I mean, I don't think they don't have the Rooney Law for OCs, do they?
Oh, I didn't even mean it in that way, and I appreciate that. I don't know. I think the Rooney Law is just head coaching.
Because I know they interviewed, or they're going to interview Keenan McCardle. And there was another player. They kept showing it. I kept seeing the post on Instagram and stuff that that Belichick's gonna interview.
There's the Clem kid that his first ever pick was Clem. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. That's the
kid.
I don't know who this guy is.
And he's been all over the place coaching. That's my other fear. I'm glad you brought that up because that's my concern. I was thinking about this. Like I think, because I've been talking about Billy O'Brien for a long time, and I would love to see him come back. And I almost think we want it so bad, maybe it's a bad idea. Like you know what I mean? Like what if he shows up and we think he is going to be the key that picks the lock, and then that goes horribly wrong? Yeah, I can't even imagine, and I don't think he would. I don't think he would be a problem,
offense.
but. At that point, you have to just burn it down.
Yeah.
So, but I think if there's such this air of confidence, like he comes back, we plug him in, it's going to be great. There's also going to be a little bit that, they always say with a head coach or with any system, it takes about 3 years to turn, So next year might not be rainbows and unicorns.
As long as you see progress, like you went from decent progress the first season with Jones to like it regressed big time.
Yeah. Well, you forget he comes out, Zappy goes in, they remap the offense for Zappy.
Yeah.
Then when he comes back, they keep the offense they put in for Zappy, and then there's some disdain there. And if nothing else, that last game against the Bills, how many times did we almost not get the playoff or not get the playoff?
Right.
In the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Dear Matt Patricia, speak into microphone clearly, efficiently. Like that, this is you had one job. You had one job.
So in the Bills Miami game.
Oh my God.
They went to they got to delay a game. They were 4th and 1. And that's so. When are these guys that take head coaching jobs going to realize they have too much to do? They can't call the plays also.
Yeah. Yep.
Like Andy Reid finally realized he can't do both.
Yep.
And he has Eric Bieniemy calling the plays.
Yep.
I think Josh McDaniels, that's what he needs. He needs an offensive coordinator to run the offense, call the plays. There's too much stuff to think about. You have to worry about clock management.
You mean Mike McDaniels?
But I'm saying Josh McDaniels also calls his own plays.
No, sure, and Mike was getting stuff in late too.
Yeah,
right.
And
he was getting stuff in late.
When are these guys going to realize that you need your head clear to concentrate on everything? You're the head coach. You can't worry about calling plays.
Well, and I think the problem too, and I'm sure they know this because they make a lot of money and it's their job. But I think what some viewers, some civilians might not realize is the mic shuts off. I forget what time it shuts off, but when the clock resets,
15 seconds left.
Yeah, when the clock resets, they've only got until ultimately 16 seconds left to get the play in.
Yeah,
and then the 15 seconds, mic's off, communication is off, and now that individual has to translate it to the offense, or call it and get them set, then get the snap off.
Right.
It was mind numbing watching Miami not get the ball off.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. Yeah. And that kid played really well. He punched above his weight to be in that environment. They kept showing his dad. I'm like, God bless the kid. And I think he definitely got snubbed. Like they got screwed on a couple of those. I think he rushed some stuff. I think there were a couple of plays where he didn't get the whole play and they called some stuff. I mean, it was all over the place. What a mess. And that's all exacerbated by the fact that there's clearly some video evidence that Mike McDaniels may have been vaping on the sideline. Did you see that?
Oh, no.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Oh, do yourself a favor. If you're playing at home, do yourself a favor. Go to the Google A, which is French for look it up, and just punch in Mike McDaniels wild card vaping. or
Okay.
Mike McDaniel's vaping. You'll get it. It could be like, is it really? There's one point where he's got the gloves up in his hand and you can clearly see a square cartridge. Could it be a flat Sharpie? It could be. And here's my thought process. If I were to just lift my hands, and I've got a little thing here. I'll use my TV remote. If I lift my hands like this and put it to my mouth, and I'm just resting it there, and not doing anything like a pen, like I'm tapping it on my face, I don't do this.
Yeah.
Right? And he's not warming his hands. He's not expelling air with blown out cheeks. And how does he get away with it? Because vape can, and I'm sure, and I know this because I know enough people that have told me this. Vape you can have it be big and cloudy because the kids love that, or you can get stuff that's not so cloudy. And he would have been able to get away with both because it was cold out.
Right.
Right? Did you find it?
I'm looking at it.
I mean, it's an odd choice. I appreciate you might be a little stressed, and it really hasn't made any news.
So what was he vaping? That's
Well, that's the other thing. Was it just a little CBD to calm the nerves? I mean, if it's anything more than that, Jesus, you can't
do that.
You can't do chew at baseball anymore, right? Like there can't be. So yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't. And yes, I've been locked in my cave all day, but it's been a few days. I'm surprised it hasn't been a bigger story. It's been a nothing burger. So it's pretty fascinating.
Oh, definitely. Holy crap.
You watching it?
He does, he does the thing that you were just doing, like there, and then all of a sudden it's like
he's got his index finger over the very top, and he's
sucking on something. That's
I mean, it was interesting, and you know what, I really like him. He's like the guy from your fantasy league that's the commissioner, and they're like your head coach, right? Like 1,000%.
I mean, he does have that little bit of Spicoli vibe, you know. So
he's got I love the kid. Like he's awesome. He's good for the NFL. I love that. It's horrifying, and I also enjoy that 4,000% of the head coaches are 20 years younger than me at this point. Like it's horrifying. Right? I mean,
what happened?
And the fact that all the guys that we watch playing are now head coaches is also horrifying. But that's another story. That's another story. Are we making picks? Up or down picks?
Yeah.
Go through the schedule and make up or down picks?
Yep.
What do we got?
So
What do we got?
Straight up, or are we doing?
Yeah. I mean, let's just.
Okay. All right, I got to bring it back up. Let's see.
So I'm taking Jags. A completely emotional pick. I mean, like I can't possibly say.
Yeah, I like the story too. I'm sticking with them.
Duvall.
As long as they're still in it.
Yep.
So I got them. So next will be Giants, Eagles. I think the Giants have something for them. I think the Eagles are still
Dayball's a great
banged
coach.
up.
I think they got the stink on him right now. And is Jalen back for this? And if he is back, will he be effective?
He played the last game of the season, so he's.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, am I getting him confused with somebody else? I apologize. Okay. Yeah, I'm probably. I'm thinking of Lamar. I'm losing track of all the quarterbacks that aren't playing.
I think the Eagles might still be a little banged up, and I don't hate the Giants, so I'm good with them winning. I'll pick them.
I would love that upset.
2 upsets on Saturday.
I'll take that. I'd love that. And then I'm torn here.
Yeah,
I'm torn here.
Same here, because I wore my Flutie Bills jersey
as you
Sunday,
do, as you should.
But I don't like what I see from Buffalo. Like they squeaked out a win to a third string quarterback.
Yeah, there's not a. It's funny until just now, nothing of what I was. All my emotion around this has nothing to do with DeMar anymore.
Yeah,
and I'm. What a great story! What a. It's a phenomenal story. The vapor from that they were cruising on is over, I think. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, unless
the
because he's
Patriots
been
gave them a tough game.
unless because he's been home and like unless he's up in a skybox or he comes out for a coin toss or something, and I still don't think that's enough. I think a few things are going on with the Bills. I think they think that they've won a Super Bowl recently. The bravado of the Bills Mafia is like, well, hold it, guys. Let's check the record, right?
Yeah.
So they might be out over their skis a little bit. That's my biggest concern. And I think they feel it's a fait accompli that the Bengals are coming to lose so we can advance.
Yeah, I think they might be in for a surprise. And I think right after last weekend, I was thinking Bengals, and I'm going to stick with that. I'm gonna say Bengals win.
We're going all upsets. I absolutely love this. Are we sweeping the board with upsets?
Well, what's the last one? 49ers and Dallas? No, I'm not picking Dallas.
Yeah, you lost me there. I got to tell you though, yeah, I couldn't agree more.
They look good. I tell you know what? They have a really talented team. Yep. I just don't have faith in the quarterback and the coach of that team.
Yeah, I feel like Mike McFarland's getting away with something right now. And I don't know if Dak Prescott can do this 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
That's where my head is at. He's been so inconsistent. He's so inconsistent.
49ers, definitely. And McCaffrey is just a stud.
Yeah, he's awesome. And the Brock Purdy story is so phenomenal.
Yep.
And if I figured you would love this. I don't know if you saw it. A meme somewhere on the socials. It's him side by side with Marino. He grew up loving Marino. That's why he wears 13.
Oh,
which is super cool. And then the other thing, I was just talking to my friend Coach. We're at book club, indoor men's league, and I'm like, dude, I look up and I feel like it's been 60 years, but who's not here for it? Like Dwight Clark, Joe Montana, Danny White, like the 49ers and the Cowboys are in the playoffs. And this is the game that when it was, sometimes it's the NFC Championship. This used to be the game when we were kids. That this was the Super Bowl.
Right.
The team that won this game was going to go demolish the AFC. Yes, it was was like their Pro Bowl. We're gonna wear flags on our hips and So super cool. They're wrapping up the whole weekend
they're gonna
with this
hype
game.
This up big time.
Yeah. You're gonna see so many clips of the catch. And they're gonna talk about a young Tom Brady being in the stands for the catch. They're going to play that whole story out, 1,000%. All right, so we're going all dogs, and then Niners.
Yes,
I love it. Yeah, I'm all. I've only got, and it's not. None of these people are adversarial relationships until we get to the Dallas Cowboys. A good friend of mine here in the building, Michelle, is a Cowboys fan. Don't know why. Don't care. It annoys me. One of my friends, Clint, is a hybrid. He is Patriots and Cowboys, and since the Patriots are in the barn, I'm sure he's going to send me a text at some point this weekend. He's a Cowboys fan. And then the most annoying one, our dear friend, Dr. Apostolos, is a Cowboys fan.
Really?
And I
did not know that.
I always forget, and I'm not that interested to ask, but we'll find out. We'll see him soon enough. How he landed there, because I don't know.
Well, what usually happens with people that end up with teams like that is your team was so bad.
Yes.
And you figured the 90s, the early 90s, early 90s, because they drafted, they got Irvin and Aikman in 89, I think it was.
Yeah.
So the 90s is, I can see, you figure back when I was a kid in the 70s, I have pictures of me. I was wearing either Steelers gear or Dallas Cowboys gear. Those were the two big teams back then. And it's like Patriots were non-existent. And you didn't get to watch games like you do nowadays. So
they were blacked out.
Yeah.
Because they didn't sell out Schaefer Stadium, so it's not going to be on TV. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Thank God those days are over.
Yes. Thank God.
So look forward to another. Is this going to be a super divisional. What are they calling this
A
weekend?
dynamic divisional weekend. I have no idea what they're going to call it. I have no idea.
Some stupid name, I'm sure.
Let's get to the Celtics first.
Well, I guess it worked because I'm still saying super
You're
wild
still
card
saying it,
weekend.
yeah. And there's no check in the mail for you for that one.
No.
Celtics first. The great Chris Ford passed away,
Yes.
which I heard it and I'm like, really?
I still think it's pretty young, 74, but I couldn't believe that he was 74.
Yeah, it's both. It's like, wow, that's not that old. And holy crap, we're old.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, there's like the two things. Like, oh, I watched him play. That's horrifying. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, and he hit the first 3-pointer
Ever.
in NBA history. Yes,
Super
he
cool.
has that. Yep.
That's pretty cool. Do you have a bobblehead to share with us? Is there a Chris Ford bobblehead?
No.
Are we getting one in memoriam? We're gonna posthumely post him behind
if
you.
they produce one, probably.
Okay, you'll track. I'll be on the search for it tonight. I will make sure we track one down.
Okay.
Before we get to the hockey team, let's talk Celtics, of course. Then we'll talk about the Bruins, who can't seem to figure out how to lose anymore, which is wonderful. So, Celtics, we've got is Golden State
Tonight.
Yeah. Okay.
So just tonight at 7 o'clock, it's the Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. And also at 7 o'clock tonight is the Bruins and Rangers, just so you can get your clicker thumb all ready for tonight.
I will be home in time just in time to do that. There's been since you said it, you willed it into existence, by the way. It's all your fault. Since you said it, we've had more doubleheader nights, which I'm fine with it. Like I'm happy to click around.
I hate missing stuff from the other game while you're over watching the one. You might miss something.
Yeah.
So many times I'll flip it over to the to the Celtics and flip it back and the Bruins scored. And I'm like, what the hell? Although it's a good thing because it's like, oh, every time I flip over and flip back, they score. So I'm missing it, but at least they're scoring.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, when they're both on, like tonight, I'm going to check in on both, but I'm going to be 94% on the Bruins.
Yeah,
because the Bruins will invariably the Bruins will wrap, and then I can go catch the end of the Celtics.
Right, and you get the intermissions that you can flip over. So like the other night when they were both on, it worked out kind of good. I think the first period was over, the first quarter was over, so you could watch pretty much all the second quarter without having to miss any Bruins, and then you could flip it on the Bruins at halftime.
Yep.
Of the Celtics game, so you got to see a lot of it, but it's still annoying.
Still annoying. It gives me great pleasure to know that you're upset. I can't. There's no other way to put it.
And the other
and tonight you're drinking Crown Royal. You're going to be belligerent.
Yeah,
you'll throw stuff at the television and.
I don't. So the Sports Hub carries both teams. So on a night like tonight, they're losing. I'm sure the radio station must be owned by the same company.
Great point.
But so 98.5 only gets the Bruins tonight. The Celtics are going to ROR. So that every time they both play on the same night, ROR gets the basketball game, and so you're losing your revenue for Sports Hub for the Celtics games. It's been a ton this year.
Yeah, interesting. Okay.
I don't know if they still get a piece of it or whatever. I mean, TV doesn't matter because they're on two different stations all the time. But radio, they're the only station that has both of them.
Yeah, but ROR is part of that family.
Right. They're
That's
probably
how that
part of
works.
it. But still, it's that money has to go to ROR, I'm guessing. Like the funds.
Well, I think the contract is with, and I'm gonna guess right now. I don't even know.
You know more radio behind the scenes than I do. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw something out and be wrong, but I'm just gonna say let's use like we could say cheap channel because it's fun to say cheap channel, but I won't say cheap channel. iHeartRadio, sorry, whatever they're using to hide from their debt.
They changed now,
whatever name they're using to hide from their debt. Hi, Bob Pittman. Anyway, so the like Town Square Media or whatever they are, it's going to that company in general.
Yeah.
right? So like it's all under that tent. So as long as the game is getting out on one of their streams, one of their channels,
Yeah.
it doesn't really matter. The money's still going where it's gonna go. You're annoyed though.
It's even more annoying when I'm in the car because I don't regularly have that ROR as a station set up. So it's like if there's a game on and the Red Sox are on, I can go back and forth from EEI to the Sports Hub, no problem. But then when I gotta think, shit, what station's the Celtics on? And then I gotta try and find it and then replace one of my presets with it so I can flip it back and forth. It's such a challenge.
Do you not, Sweet Prince? Do you not have Sirius XM?
I do not anymore.
Oh,
yep.
So, and the only reason I ask is when you get into the woods up here, I would have to go off of 98.5 for the Patriots, and I'd have to go to like the Shark, which is like 103.5 and all that kind of stuff. 105.3, sorry. Doesn't matter. They're not a sponsor. So I'd rather just go, no, I'm going to get locked and loaded crystal clear, and I just go track it down on the channels. And usually, very fortunately, especially for the Celtics and Bruins, because they're playing out of their minds right now, you will and you can track it down, probably track it down on both, but normally I trip over it, and they will give you, like on Sunday, you can go find the Eagles broadcast or the Giants broadcast.
Yeah.
Which is super cool. And when I go on Sirius XM, I can always find the Celtics broadcast or the Bruins broadcast. And a hat tip to that whole, like, I think people don't realize, because there's not a lot of people that will listen. These are all very visual sports, but I appreciate when you're in the car, you listen on the radio.
Yeah.
When they're starting the game, and I just heard Bob Sochi do this the other day, because I was getting home from something. And when that Bills game, our last game of the season, was starting, and just for him to go through the conversation and paint he painted the picture, which was really funny. And he talked about what the Bills were wearing, what the Patriots are wearing, and the Patriots are receiving. They'll be playing from left to right on your radio dial. And I just love that. And that's like a lost art of like doing sports on radio, because now I'm sitting in my car and I can see what they're wearing. And I know when Mac's throwing the ball, he's throwing it from my left mirror over to my right mirror. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, it doesn't mean anything, but it's like I can sort of picture.
Yeah, so that's what the really good guys do. You can visualize what's going on.
Yep.
I mean, they're like the Westwood One.
Yeah,
a lot of
Kevin Harlan and stuff. Yep.
Yeah, those guys are really good at it.
Yep.
Because I'll catch Notre Dame games on there.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good. It is nice when you have someone that's that good that you can. Oh, let's see. What's someone trying to? Is that a Devin McCourty jersey? Good for you. Finally listened, and both look great and sound great.
I have no idea what that is.
Let's see. Who is that?
Go find out who that is.
And yes, it is a McCourty jersey.
Of course it is.
Let's see. Who was it?
Who's in the chat?
Scotty Dukes.
Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Just trying to tweet Scotty. So I've got I've got to fix this. So many things I got to fix.
I know. Why does it not tell you who's doing it on there? Is there a way to change that? You said you're going to fix it. Is that?
Yeah. So our tech guy, Robert, will probably yell at me for this. There's a whole thing with the eCam tool that we're using. There's a whole strip on the right-hand side that shows me chat. And it would show whether it's coming from YouTube or Facebook, but it comes up as Facebook user.
Right.
So I don't know what I need to do on my end to take away the anonymity on that. But anyway. There should be a
Handsome Graham attached to his name.
Dear Lord, what is he drinking tonight? It's not Dryuary at Scotty's house.
Nope.
Yep. Anyway, all right. So, your thoughts? What do we?
Okay, I got a question.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a big game tonight for the Celtics against Golden State? Like, if they lose, do you feel like, oh man, they can't figure out Golden State? Although I don't think Golden State's going to be there in the end this year.
No, if we remember our predictions, I say we lose to Phoenix.
Yeah, and I say Dallas.
We lose to Phoenix. You say we lose to Dallas. I say we lose to Phoenix.
Yeah.
So,
Oh no, actually, I say we beat Dallas.
oh, good for you.
You say
Good
we
for you.
lost
I'm a
to
terrible person. I say we lose to Phoenix. It's got to be. It's a measuring stick for sure. And the way they're playing right now, like, and they're not as, currently not as invincible as the Bruins seem.
Yeah.
I would also love them to take one on the chin. I want us to win, but if we lose, am I freaking out? No. I'm more worried about, never mind this pack of idiots that we have to play tonight. And I love Steph Curry, super talented. I'm sure he's a great person. The rest of them could fall off a cliff. I'd be fine. I'd sleep fine. I'm more worried about taking care of LeBron, who, and here's the problem, I think on paper, and
Take care of him as far as taking him out.
no,
So he
just
doesn't
I
beat
want
the record?
I that game's coming up soon. I know that's on the map. Isn't that in the next few days? Then we have LA coming up. I feel like the Lakers are coming up soon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
that being said, I 4,000% want us to take care of them tonight. And the Lakers, we got to beat the Lakers. Because if we can't handle that, if we overlook that because we feel like they're less than Golden State and we overlook that and we lose that, I don't know. That they're not better than Golden State.
Scotty's chiming in.
He's on vacation. Oh my God, look at him go. Oh, I forgot about this. Yes, his birthday is closing. He turns 29 on January 23rd. Yeah, I'm being nice. On January 23rd. So there's a whole festival of stupidity taking place in his life over the next few days. Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of Mohegan and putting money into the machines and drinking and waking up in elevators. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time. So whether he's here next Wednesday or not, I'm not really sure. But that's he just put his whole itinerary on the face on the facegram, which is great. I if we lose tonight, I'm not gonna lose any sleep. Would I love to see us win? Do I also think that we need to get humbled occasionally? And this is gonna, to me, are we ready for this moment?
I think they are. I would love to see them floor them tonight. Just to, because there's so many questions. When that road trip they did out in the West Coast when they played them, they lost 2 out of 3. They lost to Golden State, the Clippers, and they beat the Lakers. I believe that was the trip. So, and that game kind of left a bad taste in my mouth out in Golden State. That it just like Tatum didn't show up to play. Like he was just how he was in the playoffs in the finals last year.
Yeah.
So I would like to see him. I'd like to see Tatum have a game like he did the other night, scoring the 51 against Golden State. I want to see Tatum show up tonight, win or lose. I want to see him have a Tatum game and not be non-existent tonight.
Yeah. Yep.
That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. That's another great point because they were not as good as they are right now last year during the finals.
Right.
And yeah, I think if they can hold it together, Draymond had remarkably mature comments to make about Boston. And I mean that truly. Like he talked about the fact that I heard the crowd say stuff I've never heard anybody else say. So he's hinting at veined racism and all that stuff. And I'm not saying that listen, not a bunch of choir boys at the Garden. There's a bunch of morons that attend all sporting events in all cities.
Especially when liquor's involved.
We somehow always get highlighted. I'm not saying we're guilty. I'm not saying we're innocent. I need everybody to shut up tonight. That would be great. Nobody throws water. Nobody should throw. Yeah, nobody should throw any racial epithets or water or popcorn or pizza. Just stay in your seat, enjoy the game, and be an adult. That would be awesome, and beat the crap out of them on the court.
Scotty Duke says that Celtics play the Lakers on the 28th.
Yeah, I knew it was coming up. I'm more worried about that because my disdain for LeBron, also a great person. There, I practice saying that without laughing. I think I still dislike him the most. I won't use the word hate. Yeah. My new phrase is I'm challenged by his existence.
Yeah,
there,
no,
I said it.
I mean, there's
just
Yeah,
if he comes in and pulls a win off, I'll be like, nope, no thanks.
How he comes off, how he is in all these, so he tweeted, to Brock Purdy after the game the other night. And it's like,
know.
just to get his name out there.
Yes. Yep. And everybody talked
think
about it
he's
for
such
3
a
days.
Fraud.
Yep.
It's like, dude, just play your game and nobody cares. Well, I don't know. I can't say nobody cares because they broadcast it on all the channels. So I mean, someone thinks that people care.
Everybody cares. He is a phenomenal talent, and he is he 38 now?
Yeah,
he's like so. God bless him in all the things. I also don't want to see him beat the Celtics. I'll lose my mind. Like, we got to take care of that game. I'm more worried about that game than anything else. And I also think, is there a possibility that like these bigger games, is Joe Mazzulla the guy for these bigger games? That's my biggest concern as we get into the playoffs and he's not tall enough for the ride. That's a concern.
Yeah, I agree. That's my concern also.
I don't know. We'll find out. Do we want to skate over to the Bruins, pun intended?
Yeah.
And then get on the. I gotta get out of Portsmouth, man. The storm's coming. I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Get on that wagon.
Dude, I was so annoyed. We went down 1-0. And we went down 1-0 to the frickin' Islanders, who last year, if you remember, the Islanders had our number.
Yeah.
Like, they stole our lunch money every time we played them. And then they just crept back in, and I was just like, this is phenomenal. And now we're at the point where I know we still obviously have to get to the All-Star game and get on the other side of the break, but I would like to see them fumble a little bit. I mean, 4 losses is pretty amazing, but like, it's freaking me out. It's freaking me out a little bit.
I know. I keep waiting for something to happen.
It's freaking me out. Like, I don't even want to talk about all the things that go wrong because I don't want to put it in the ether, but like, I would like a little fumble.
I'm kind of getting excited that we might have a pretty good trade deadline around here.
What do you think that would look like?
So I think the problem, which they've been working on it, and I think the DeBrusque injury actually helps them from being out for a little bit. The salary cap with the Bruins is not good. So when they sent down Craig Smith for a day, or put him through waivers, and him not being on their books for those 3 days actually saved them money to the cap. So they're trying to make as much room as possible. So that could be what keeps them from making a huge splash. I mean, I would love to see them get either Taves or Kane from Chicago, just to have them come in and take over. Taves can be the third or maybe even move. Well, I wouldn't change Zaka, Krejci, and Pasternak. I think they are playing phenomenal together.
Yeah, right.
So I would keep that second line together. But you put Taves on the third line with Hall and whoever you have on the other side, you can move Coyle over there. So you could have Taves, Hall, and Coyle as your third line. That's freaking awesome. And
be ridiculous.
But they definitely need more help on the defensive line. Grizzlick and Clifton have been playing really well, but I'd like to have a couple more names back there. If Clifton and Grizzlick are your third pairing, that's great. It'd be nice to get. I don't know who's out there. I haven't heard many names on the defensive front, but I know they've been looking for people. But I mean, adding Kane even you could add Kane. I don't know if he's a left or a right winger, so it might not work with Hall if they're both the same. But the Taves thing, and then you have Taves if Bergeron or Krejci decides to retire next year. You got one of the best centermen in the league still.
Yeah,
to fill their spot. Yeah, that I'm I'm getting excited. I'm a little excited for the Celtics front. I think theirs will be a little more of a minor piece that you add. I don't think you're getting any big splash names because they're pretty solid with their top 8. So I think they're just looking for more reinforcements. I think they'll try and get someone to help with Horford and Williams because they're both injury prone. So if they can get someone to help give them some time, especially just to get through the regular season, not wear them out so much.
Try to give people
give them rest, but without giving them full days off.
Yeah,
just not having to play a full game, getting more rest, and still getting the wins. That's the thing. It's a balancing act.
I'm more concerned about their locker room than the Bruins. You could make a big move with the Bruins and probably not affect the locker room the way I think.
Right.
I think that as good as things are with the Celtics, I think that locker room's a little more fragile.
Yeah,
and
it's
a personality.
Very young still.
Yeah. Yep.
They could be. Yeah. That's what happened when Kyrie was here.
Yep.
You had a really young locker room, and you added that poison to it. It didn't work out very well.
Yeah.
I'm not as concerned because I think they're more mature now. Tatum and Brown, I think they can handle something, but I don't think they're not getting anyone that's taking any of their playing time, or it's not going to be a top guy that's coming in. It's going to be a role player. They're pretty set with their top 8.
Yep.
8 or 9 even.
Yep.
So I don't think what they're going to do is going to affect the locker room because it won't be a big head coming into the locker room. It's just going to be someone that's going to be probably coming from a team that's not winning, that's coming to a winning team and has a chance to play in the playoffs. So I think whatever they get is going to be positive. And we still have Gallinari that's going to be coming back.
Yeah, right. That's right. The whole time.
Yeah. So I think they were I haven't seen any updates, but I know what I've been hearing all along is the end of February, early March, he could be back. So as long as he's still on, that'll be good because that'll give him a month to play before the playoffs to get the rust off.
We're watching the game a couple nights ago, and Jenny's like, "Who's the little guy? Who's the little guy?" I'm like, "Peyton Pritchard. How dare you?"
Yeah, I feel bad for him.
Who's the little guy?
Lost a lot of playing time this year.
Yeah. Yeah, it was almost like a magic trick when he was out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's on the floor. Holy
Yep.
smokes. The Bruins, real quick. Talk about the, what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say it's justified, but Linus Ullmark. Like we were throwing furniture last year. Like, what did we spend all this money on? What was the tipping point, do you think?
So I don't know if I've said it on the show or not. I've talked to people about this, and I got to go back and double check and find this. I saw something over the summer with him, if it was a Behind the Bee or something like that, that they talked to him, and something was up with his family that he was worried about over the last few years, and everything has been fixed, and he's clear-minded going into this season.
Okay.
So I think that's it. He's playing without worrying, no distractions. He's concentrating 100% on hockey, and nobody saw this coming.
No.
Nobody. I'm
playing
sorry.
out of his mind.
Don Sweeney could say, "Oh yeah, when we signed him, this is why we signed him." No.
Yeah.
You did not see it. Nobody saw this coming. This is unbelievable, and it's a great story. And Swayman's looked a lot better too.
Yep.
And they have such a great relationship.
The bear hug is so good,
room.
right?
Oh,
yeah. Every like
they're
that's
both out there for each other.
Yeah, it's almost like when the Red Sox had their dance out in center, like and that run. It's the same type of deal. Yeah, super good locker room, and Jim Montgomery has to be up for Coach of the Year.
Oh my God!
Like
yes.
4,000%.
I keep waiting for something to happen. And
Good night, everybody.
I know
Try the veal.
It's great.
It is
I'm
great.
so glad my wife beat me into being a Bruins fan. Just
Yeah,
in time.
it's one of the most amazing things that you've done. We appreciate it.
All right, just a quick Red Sox note. So, Adam Duvall, did you hear the rumors of them?
They got
that.
They got solidified yesterday, I believe. Right? That was like early yesterday. I think early yesterday morning. That was a done deal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard that on the way in, and then I heard conflicting reports because everything I was hearing on the radio was defensive wizard, not necessarily the bat, but then everything on ESPN or things I saw last night on TV was like, oh no, the bat's phenomenal.
Yeah. So my problem is I looked at his stats. The last 3 seasons he hasn't played a full season.
Okay.
So he had a season-ending wrist injury in July last year, and he missed the rest of the season. And he didn't play full seasons the 2 seasons before that. But if this is the thing though, why are the Boston Red Sox signing ifs? Why are we going out and hoping that we're going to catch this guy on a rebound year? This isn't how it should be, but this is what we're getting. So we get the kid from Japan. Hopefully he can play in the MLB. And Duvall, he's if he's a stud if he can. I know he's a little older now, but he is an all-star center fielder and hitter. He can hit 30+ homers if he's healthy all season long.
Yep.
So you replaced JD Martinez with that signing, so that they're getting close. People still say, "Oh, we still haven't signed a first baseman." Tris Cassis is our first baseman. That's what they're going in with. If he craps his pants as a rookie next year, then we're in trouble. But that's our first baseman next year.
Yep. And they're talking Kike will go to second, right?
Short.
The Kike is short. I'm sorry.
They've signed like 2 or 3 utility players that play short and second. So again, they're gonna hope, and I think Christian Arroyo is still with the team.
Yeah, Arroyo's 2. Yeah, he's gonna play 2.
I think he's a really good second baseman, and he's shown he can hit when he's healthy and stays in the lineup. So if he's your starting second baseman next year and Kike is your starting shortstop, if they can stay healthy and play the way they can play, it's not the worst thing. Would I rather have Xander? Yes. And Trevor Story? Yes. But if this is what we have, it's another thing. It's like if they play a full season, if they hit like they can hit. So there's going to be a lot of question marks. Hopefully they prove us all wrong, come out with a hot April, and they're in first place at the end of April, and then we can all enjoy the season next year.
And your summer won't be ruined.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, last year was horrible. They ruined my summer before I could even open the pool.
Is that worst. The benchmark? If if summer's ruined before you open the pool, we're in bad shape.
If the pool's not open yet and the Red Sox are out of it, it's a bad summer.
It's a bad summer. All right. Well, we intend to be back next Wednesday in the 5 o'clock hour for Scotty, for Adam, who will join us next week, for Rubber Shoes, and for myself. Please go to atbshow.com. You can find everything there. When you are on Facebook or you are on YouTube for the show, we'd love for you to subscribe and share and comment and like. And as always, to our dear friends at AAA Work Trucks, our wonderful sponsors. We'll see you in and around the internet for Rubber Shoes and for myself. Have a great week. It is the ATB Show at The Buzzer. See you soon.